Today we are going to discuss the acceleration of a body rolling down an inclined plane, and we'll discuss many conceptual type questions and some numerical there on this particular topic. So all these we'll discuss in today's discussion. Let's suppose we want to find expression for acceleration of a body rolling down an inclined plane. This is suppose an inclined plane on which a body is rolling down. If this is inclined plane on which a body is sliding, if it is frictionless, in that case the acceleration down the inclined plane will be how much? It will be your g sine theta. But here the body is rolling. Suppose omega is the angular speed with which it starts rolling, and initially it is released from point A. So its velocity, initial velocity is 0. It rolls down the inclined plane and reaches the point B with the velocity v. Suppose the point A is at a height h, and the inclined plane has an inclination theta and the length is s. So suppose we take the conservation of energy here. So if I take potential energy at A, okay, so this is how much? It is your mgh. Kinetic energy at point A, this will be 0 because the body is at rest there. That means it has been released from rest. So the total energy at point A, how much it will be? It is potential energy at A plus kinetic energy at A. That is equals to mgh plus 0, and that is simply mgh. Now at point B, what is the potential energy at point B? This is 0 because it has reached here and this is our reference level. So it is 0. Kinetic energy at B, half mv square. But as the body is rolling down the inclined plane, it will also have the rotational kinetic energy. So rotational kinetic energy at B, this is how much? This is your half I omega square. So the total energy at B, this will be equals to potential energy at B plus kinetic energy at B plus rotational kinetic energy at B, which is 0 plus half mv square plus half I omega square. Remember that omega we can write as v by r. V is equals to r omega. So this can be written as your half m, and for this v square, and this is your half. For m, moment of inertia, we can write it as your m k square, and for this we can write v by r whole square. So we can take a half m v square here, and within bracket it is 1 plus k square by r square. This is the total energy at point B. Now, as or by the conservation of energy, we'll have a total energy at A same as total energy at B. So this is your mgh. This is equals to half mv square 1 plus k square by r square. Here one more thing we can notice, that this s which we have taken, if you write that one in terms of h, so how much it will be? H by s, this is your sine theta. So in that case we can write this as mgs sine theta. This is half mv square 1 plus k square by r square. So v square, how much you will get? It will be your 2g s sine theta divided by 1 plus k square by r square. This is the expression for velocity or square of the velocity when the body reaches point B. Now let's assume that let A be the acceleration of body rolling down. So for that we can write v square equals to 2as, simply because initial velocity is 0. So it is v square, using the formula v square equals to u square plus 2as. We have this relation. This is suppose your equation 2. Now from equation 1 and 2, what you will get for A? Here 2 and s will get cancelled. So you will get here g sine theta by 1 plus k square by r square. This is the expression for acceleration of the body which is rolling down an inclined plane. So this expression we can use. Now you see here, if body is not rolling, it means radius of gyration will not be there. Radius of gyration, when it will arise? When the body has rotational motion. So if k is 0, then what will be the acceleration? It is simply g sine theta. And that is the thing what we get when a body is just sliding down an inclined plane. If it does not have any rotational motion, it will be simply A equals to g sine theta. There can be a number of questions asked on this acceleration of the body rolling down the inclined plane. Like one very common question is there that if we have a ring, a disc, solid sphere and hollow sphere, all of same radius. So we have a ring, disc, solid sphere, hollow sphere, all of same radius. They are released from point A and they are allowed to roll down. Which one will reach the bottom first? This you have to find. So how will you find? We'll find expression for acceleration of these bodies down the inclined plane. So the general expression for acceleration is your g sine theta 1 plus k square by r square. This is the acceleration of the body rolling down an inclined plane. Let's take for the different cases. Acceleration for the ring. This is your g sine theta by 1 plus. What is the moment of inertia of the ring? It is your mrs square. I is your mrs square. That we can write it as your mk square. That means k square by r square will be 1. So this will be k square by r square will be 1 here. Let's take for the disc. It is your g sine theta divided by 1 plus k square by r square for the disc. This is for the ring. For the disc, it was your mr square by 2. That is your mk square. So now this k square by r square will be half. If you take solid sphere, g sine theta by 1 plus, for solid sphere it is 2 by 5 mrs square. So in that case, if this is your mk square, k square by r square is 2 by 5. And hollow sphere if I take, g sine theta by 1 plus 2 by 3. Because for hollow sphere, this is 2 by 3 mrs square. That is the expression. Now you see, For ring, it is 1 plus 1 in the denominator. It is your 0.5. Here it is your 0.4. This is 0.6. That means this term is basically g sine theta by 2. This is your g sine theta by 1.5. G sine theta by 1.4, because 2 by 5 is your 0.4, and this is your g sine theta by, it is your 1.66 or 67, whatever you take. So if you just arrange them in the terms of the acceleration, in that case, whose acceleration is least? Remember, the denominator which will have the smaller value will have the higher value of the acceleration for that term. So in that case, acceleration for solid sphere, this is maximum because it is 1.4 there. Then it is your 1.5. So it is your disk. Then it is your hollow sphere. Then it is your ring. That means now if I take the time taken to reach here at the point B or at the bottom there will be just inversely related. That means it will be half AT square formula if you apply there. In that case, the time taken for solid sphere is least. Then it is your for disk. Then it is for hollow sphere, and it is maximum there for the ring. So solid sphere will reach at the earliest, and this will be the latest one, that is the ring. Or the question may be there, if they all have been rolled down simultaneously from one point, how they will be reaching, in what order they will reach. So you can tell in this form also. Another question based on the same may be there, that you have been given identical in appearance there, one solid sphere and a hollow sphere. They are of same size. That means in appearance they are same. Without lifting them, if you have to distinguish which one is solid, which one is hollow, how will you do that? So obviously we'll take help of this. We'll roll down them along the inclined plane. Now you see that solid sphere has maximum acceleration, or it has more acceleration with respect to the hollow one. So in that case, the solid sphere will reach the bottom first, and then it will reach the hollow sphere. So for the two, if you have to distinguish, you just roll down them along the inclined plane. The solid sphere will reach first, and then it will be the hollow one. Another conceptual type question which may be asked, like you have two disks, or say you have been given two spheres. Their radius are in the ratio 1:4. So R1 is to R2 is 1:4. We have two spheres, their radii are in the ratio 1:4. If both of them have been rolled down simultaneously from same point, which one will reach the bottom first? If they are of different different nature, like one is your solid sphere, hollow sphere, disk, and other, that comparison we have done. Now this time it is both are of same nature. That means both are solid sphere. It may be given in form of the disk also. So if their radii are in the ratio 1:4, then if they are rolled down simultaneously from the particular point, which one will reach the bottom first there on the inclined plane? Now here, if you directly use this formula, if you look at the formula, it is your g sine theta by 1 plus k square by r square. And if you try using this one, that if r is more, then this denominator term will be small, because it is 1 by r square there in the denominator. So if r is more, denominator term is small, so acceleration will be large. If r is small, then this fraction will be large, so denominator will be large, acceleration will be less. So that way it will indicate that the bigger sphere will have large acceleration, because for that r was more, So fraction was less here. That means it is the denominator which is less. So acceleration is large. So the sphere of larger radius will be having more acceleration. So it will take less time. But remember, this is wrong. Why? Because if you take for solid sphere, moment of inertia is how much? 2 by 5 mr square, which is taken as your mk square. So k square by r square will be 2 by 5. So for a particular type of body, like if it is the solid sphere, k square by r square value is fixed. So that means this term is fixed. It is now independent of r. It means whether it is your smaller sphere or bigger sphere, for both the acceleration will be same. What we have done, we have just tried to use the value of r without realizing that if r is more, k will also be different. So it is basically k square by r square term which is being used. And for a given type of body, k square by r square value will be fixed, independent of r. So the two bodies or two spheres, if their radii are in the ratio 1:4, both will reach the bottom at the same time. So this type of many conceptual type questions you can get there in this topic.